Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story. From Psalm 107. My other self, if you've walked with me, you have a story to tell. If you've lived in my presence, you have something to share. But do you know what it is? Many of my disciples hesitate to tell their stories. Some feel like their faith journey's not been dramatic enough, and others fear they'll not know what to say. But I tell you the truth, every work I have done in you is worth sharing. It is not only the big, sudden transformations that matter. Sometimes I change hearts in a moment, but more often, I shape my disciples slowly until one day they're realized they're walking in my light. That is a story worth telling. If you do not recognize what I've done in your life, how will you be ready to share it when someone needs to hear it? You may think your story is too small, but someone needs to hear exactly what I've done in you. Your story isn't about proving anything, it's about planting seeds of hope. It's about showing someone who is searching that I am real, that I'm alive, that I change lives. I want you to be ready. Ready when a friend says, I just don't see how faith makes a difference. Ready when someone asks, why do you believe? Ready when a moment opens for you to speak. Not with a speech, not with a sermon, just with the truth about what I've done for you. Now, first, you have to recognize when to share. You will know when someone is ready to hear your story. They'll ask a deeper question. They'll open up with their struggles. They'll trust you enough to listen. But if they're not ready, don't force it. Just keep dropping seeds, like we talked about in the last video. Keep planting small truths. When the moment comes, you'll be ready. Be wise in the way you act toward others. Make the most of every opportunity. I had Paul write that in his letter to the Colossians. So, how are you going to prepare your story? I've prepared a guide for you. It's inside the guide for this encounter with the instructions for what to do after this video. The guide will help you see what I've done in your life and prepare you to share it. This is how you'll do it. The video's over. Go get the guide, and then you'll need 2 sheets of paper. On the top of one, you'll write before Jesus, and on the top of the other, you'll write after Jesus. And then you're going to answer a set of questions about your life before and after knowing me, or after what I've done in you. Just answer the reflection questions in the guide. They'll help you recognize how I've shaped you over time. You will think about how you used to view life, your relationships, your struggles, and what has changed. Answer the questions one at a time, briefly recording your answers on both the before Jesus and after Jesus pages. And then move on to the next question. After you've answered the questions, read over your notes, pray, and reflect on it, and then choose one key change. You don't need to share everything. Choose one way I shaped you, whether gradually or suddenly. Then you write your story in just 3 short sentences. You answer the questions. What was my life like before? What did I do for you? And what was your life? How has your life changed because of me? So you take the before, what I did, and then the after. Now, it's wise to practice saying it out loud. If it's too long, simplify it. If it feels unnatural, adjust it. Make it so it feels like something you could say in a normal conversation. So when this video ends, I want you to work on this for like 15, 20 minutes. Get a good start on it. and then discuss what you have so far with your mentor or your group if you're in one. If you're on your own, take a break. Just reflect on it. Now, through the week, it's going to take time to finish this, but be patient. Work on it, set aside time for it, and then when you come back for the next session, be ready to share what you have. Your story may be the key. Those 3 short sentences may be the key to someone else's faith. Your testimony is not about how good you are. It's about how faithful I am. You don't have to tell someone how they should believe. You only need to show them what I have done for you. If they are searching, they will notice. If they are ready, they will ask for more. When you share what I have done, it does more than open their hearts. It strengthens yours. The more you remember my faithfulness, the more confident you will be to trust me in the future. My other self, I want you to see that I have been shaping you. I want you to recognize my presence in your life because one day someone will ask you why you believe. And when they do, I want you to be ready, not with arguments, not with memorized words, but with the simple truth about what I've done for you. Take the time to do this. Sit with these questions, write your answer, refine your story. And then when the moment comes, you'll be ready. Now, go, reflect, write, and be ready. Jesus has just given us a challenge, not just to know our story, but to be ready to share it. Your story may be the key to someone else's faith, but if you don't have it ready, you might miss an opportunity when it comes. That's why we're asking you to take time to write your story. It's not an afterthought. It's a crucial step in being prepared to lead others to Jesus. So find the guide to writing your story. It's inside the Encounter 3 guide that you can download if you haven't already. It's available to you now. And then take out 2 sheets of paper and follow the instructions. Write before Jesus on one and after Jesus on the other. Spend at least 15 to 20 minutes starting this process. Then discuss what you've written with your mentor or group. During the next week, complete it and be ready to share those 3 simple sentences at the beginning of the next session. It's so important. When the time comes, I want you to be confident and I want you to share what Jesus is doing for you in your life with others, and it'll grow your faith when you do that. Let the redeemed tell the story of the Lord. Psalm 107. Okay, so in our next session, we're going to take the final step. We're going to learn how to share the full message of the gospel in a way that makes sense to those who are searching. But before you can share the gospel, you must first know what Jesus has done in your life. Let's close with prayer. Jesus, you have shaped us in ways we do not always recognize. Open our eyes to see your work in our lives. Give us the courage to write our story and the wisdom to refine it and the confidence to share it when the moment comes. Let us be ready when you call. Amen.